listening to Radio OwlsNest. The songs of Martin Page, all day, all night, forever. So grab a cup of tea, settle down with us in the Owl's Nest. Truly lovely to have you here with me for episode 11 of Radio OwlsNest. I remember as a kid, I would lie in bed, lean over and turn on the old transistor radio, and we'd be able to tune into Radio Luxembourg or Radio Caroline, and it was very special, and I was hopeful that maybe Radio OwlsNest had a vibe like that. It was all cozy, and you felt like the actual transistor radio was just speaking to you personally. Anyway, trying to get that vibe, a nocturnal vibe, lots of warmth, lots of coziness, and lots of my music. Yes, I'm very egocentric. All you're going to hear here is my demos. It's a songwriter's podcast, really. So you'll hear my demos, some experiments, some really, really, really old tracks, and some new stuff. But it's time to get going on episode 11, and I want to start with a song that is very close to my heart. I'm very proud of this song, and it's called Mi Morena.
Hold your hands out to the night. Be my I adore you, oh my Morena.
That's a song of mine called Mi Morena, and I released that on a solo album called In the Temple of the Muse back in 2008. And this song has quite a vibrant history about it. You know, you write a song sometimes, and this is to all you songwriters out there, you know what this feels like when you think, I've got all the ingredients right. You know, something about it just feels from beginning to end right. And I felt that about Mi Morena when I wrote the song. Josh Groban recorded the song on an album called Closer, and he came to my house and did the vocal because he loved the demo, what you just heard there. He just said, put my voice on that track, and that went on to his solo album called Closer, and I produced it. There was a line in the song where I say, my dark one, and he changed the lyric for that. That's just a little fact there, but you might find interesting. He put a Spanish word in for that, but in my demo and in my record, as you can hear here, I was saying my dark one, and Mi Morena was inspired by my reading of the poetry of Pablo Neruda. I just love that man's rusty, dark, deep vision of love. And then came along Elaine Page. You probably know her from singing Memory from the great musical Cats, and she fell in love with the song, and that became the lead-off track on her album called Elaine Page and Friends back in 2010. And the great producer Phil Ramone produced the track, and I was very honoured that he called me a couple of times and said, could you change some of the lyrics, because it's a duet. Now that sounds very easy to do, but it's not easy to do. But if you listen to Elaine Page's version of it, I've changed the lyrics to suit a gentleman who sang with her, and that was John Cicada. And the track featured the sax playing of Kenny G. Now, that album by Elaine Page went gold in England. That's 100,000 copies. So that was really quite nice. Mi Morena has a history, and I am particularly proud of that track. And what was nice about it is Elaine Page says, I want to meet you. So I met her in a hotel, and we talked about the song. And she stayed very, very close to me throughout the recording of her version of it, which I thought was quite classy. So, my fellow Owlheads, why don't we venture down into the vault? Isn't it lovely when you find a loyal servant? And Igor is a loyal servant, and don't worry, I feed him. He's a very, very, very big lad, as you can hear. I put my hands into a great big case of cassettes, and this case of cassettes was marked up when it said the 90s. And I pulled out a song called Let It Be Me, and I couldn't remember it. I had no idea what it was. But I gave it a listen, and I thought, oh, yes, I can remember this. So why don't I let my friends the Owlheads hear this 90s demo, which really hasn't been heard at all. It's a Celtic romantic, a love song called Let It Be Me.
Fall, and there's nothing left at all. If you must answer his call, let it be me. When the dark cuts out all the light, when you feel you can no longer fight, when you look for his eyes, let it be me. While angels strong have fallen, and your spirit is broken. When your heart needs protection, let it be me. While angels sing and heroes fall, I'll be waiting at your open door, with a candle to burn all through your life. When it's love you need, when it's one you need, let it be me. Let it be me. Let it be me that you see. Open your eyes when it's love you need, when it's one you need, let it be me.
As I'm doing these Radio Owl's Nest shows, I find stuff that I didn't imagine I'd find. And I was just sat back here, believe me, listening to this for probably the first time after about 25 years. And it was very strange, but I was listening with the guitar part, so the guitar was doing quite a nice part, I thought. That's a song called Let It Be Me. My manager, I remember, Diane Poncher, told me this song is quite strong, so it was nice to find it. A real discovery from the vault. And maybe that will appear on my double album, The Poetry of Collisions. Who can tell? And I hope another song appears on that double album. It's a song called Good Heart. I'm going to play you the demo that got Mickey Thomas and Starship to record it, and also the Australian actor and singer Jason Donovan to record it. So off we go. Here is the original demo of a track called Good Heart.
It seems all the hope is gone, and so-called friends are there to along. When the darkness makes it so hard to see, just lift up your eyes, you will see me, yeah. And I'll give a good heart to hold you so strong. I'll give you my shoulder to lean on, yeah. Gonna give a good heart that's
That's Good Heart from my archives. I can't believe how high I was singing. My goodness me. And that was the time in my life when, yes, my trousers were extremely tight. When Starship recorded Good Heart, the producer, Peter Wolf, asked me to come up to the studio and do some background vocals. And I brought up my good friend who I was working with then, Peter Cox of Go West. And this leads me on to the next demo you're going to hear. This is a song called That's What Love Can Do. It was the first song I wrote for Go West before we did King Wishful Thinking and Faithful. It ended up on their album Indian Summer, and it was a great privilege to work with one of the best vocalists, I think, in the whole wide world. Here you are, the demo, the first thing we did together, Go West and me. That's What Love Can Do.
Is familiar, but not for what I used to see.
That's the demo of That's What Love Can Do. Just really me and Peter Cox in a little house on Crescent Heights in Los Angeles, a little rent house that I found when I first moved into LA. I loved Go West. I studied them very early on when I saw them on MTV, and yes, Peter in his white vest banging the crap out of something. I thought, what a band. We have a great singer here, and in the style of Hall & Oates and style of great soul music, we had an English band that had such great potential. So when my publisher said, who would you like to work with? I said those lads called Go West, that man in a white vest. That demo was done on a 16-track, a little Atari 16-track, and between me and Peter, we played all the analog keyboards. But I'll tell you, before he came across, I was already trying to prepare a track that he might be excited about. And That's What Love Can Do led me on to meeting the other member of Go West, which was Richard Drummey, a fine guitarist and a lovely chap as well. And that led us on to writing those two tracks, King Wishful Thinking and Faithful. And the rest is history, as they say. But I must admit, working with both those boys was a very special time. We seemed to, all three of us, have different strengths, which really helped when we came to sitting down and trying to compose a few hit songs.
The universe is a very strange place, full of mysteries and odd possibilities that, while scientists ceaselessly try to figure them out, may remain complete unknowns forever.
I think he's explaining a lot of the songs in my archives, in my vaults, songs that'll never see the light of day, but here, maybe they will. And here's a brand new song. Actually, I wrote this not too long ago when I was collaborating with Robbie Williams, and he was asking me to write an actual folk album with him, which was very baffling. But one day we were playing soccer together, and he said, bring your acoustic guitar up to my house and I want to do a folk album. And so I did, and I wrote a song called Shallow Grave. And this is a ghost story. I do write a lot of ghost stories, don't I? And it's the story of a press gang coming into town and stealing a man away from his wife and family and taking him off to sea. Robbie said to me, what's a press gang? And I said, well, you walk into a pub, somebody hits you over the head and drags you to a ship, and you're lost forevermore. So anyway, the lyrics portray the story of the ghost coming back to his wife and saying, there's a place I'm buried, and I didn't run away from you, so go to the shallow grave and find me, my love.
Come to you, my truest love. Come to you in a dream. For all the days your heart has bled and wept for news of me. So before the sun doth rise, take my hand into the night, and I will lead you to that awful place where, my love, you'll find my shallow grave. For you know how idle tongues do wag, and rumors will deceive. But don't believe the old wife's tales, I did not run to see. So before the sun doth rise, take my hand into the night, and I will lead you to that awful place where, my love, you'll find my shallow grave. And I will come across the void toward your soul, and I will whisper in your sleep till the truth be known. For this shallow grave can only hold my bones. For even in death, my love, I come back to you. For I only went to have one drink in the Fox and Hounds, and there I heard the rumor rumors spread, the press gang were in town. And upon my way back home, upon that lonely road, I was murdered neath the widow's tree. And as the black angel howled, well, they threw my broken body down in that shallow grave. But I will come across the void toward your soul, that I will whisper in your sleep till the truth be known. For this shallow grave can only hold my bones, for even in death, my love, I come back to you. I come home to you.
It was lovely to play that to you. A brand new song called Shallow Grave. And as I mentioned before, it was a song I was writing for a potential Robbie Williams folk album, which, as we know, has not appeared yet. But it was a good period because it forced me to get back onto the acoustic guitar and to get back to the roots of great, great folk tales. And really all folk songs have just an amazing sense of history about them. They really are the tales, I think, of people's lives. So that was great to do at that time. I can hear in the background here very moody music, very, very, very atmospheric music, which I think signifies it's time for the either totally hated or the either totally accepted or the maybe mediumly loved quiz. It's not easy thinking of these questions all about me. Episode 11, and I'm going, what the hell can I ask them? What's my height? What's the size of my shoes? Boring. But I'm going to ask you two strange, interesting questions here. First question, yes, for 50 points. What's the best song I've ever written? What's the best song you think I've ever written? And you know what question number 2 is going to be for another 50 points. What's the worst song I've written? I can hear you all rising now and throwing thousands of titles at me. What's, for 50 points, question number 2, the worst song I've written? What's the best? Thank you, piano player. And what's the worst? So there we go. A slightly different kind of quiz show this week. I think it's time for a gospel, bluesy R&B song. This is a track from my album Hotel of the Two Worlds, when I dived into that very gospel, very spiritual mood. It's a song called I've Got Faith in You, and I actually really, really enjoyed doing all the background vocals on the fade of this song. Have a listen to it.
There are many, many things that I don't believe in, and there are moments when my heart cannot see, and I wonder, yeah, I wonder what my poor soul can do. But I still got my faith in you. Yeah, I still got my faith in you. There are many, many times that I have lost my way. There are moments when my head has hung down, and I wonder, yeah, I wonder how I'll make it through. But I still got my faith in you. Still got remember I believe in you. There are many, many days that I have walked alone, and there are moments when I wished I would die. And I wonder, yeah, I wonder how I made it through. Then I remember my faith in you. Yeah, I still got my faith in you. I got my faith in you. My faith in you. I got my faith in you. I got my faith.
Love singing those background vocals. That's from my album Hotel of the Two Worlds. It was track 6, and that album was released in 2015. I'd like to take this opportunity to play you a brand new track. Hopefully this album may already be out. It's my second instrumental album, ambient album. It's going to be called The Occupation of Hope. This is a song called Trinity, and it's based on the first detonation of a nuclear device back on July the 16th, 1945, when really the whole world changed.
My goodness, that's an earthquake, and wonder if it hurt the house. He got out of bed, and he got up, and he says, I want you to come look. The sun's rising in the wrong direction.
When did you find out what happened?
Well, it's quite a while, and until they began to talk about the cattle, and their hair was turning white on them like frost, like they had frost on their backs and so forth.
Side, while her right side would get burned, and the particles of dust that were radioactive would fall on her, and then they caused a burn like a scald, and the hair, instead of coming back red like on a Hereford cow, would come back white. Storm there had a black cat just as black as the ace of spades. That thing had white spots all over after the atomic blast. He sold it to some tourists for $5. Curiosity.
So there was this sense of this ominous cloud hanging over us. It was so brilliant purple, all the radioactive glowing, and it just seemed to hang there forever. On the rocks and then went, I don't know where else it bounced, but it never seemed to stop, and not like an ordinary echo of thunder. It just kept echoing back and forth, and that Jornada de Muerte. It was a very scary time when it went off on the cloud.
To take her back to school, and we were between Palmadera and Limitar when we saw this great big flash of light, and my sister, she said, what happened? And that was, she got to see the light, and it just seemed like it lit up the whole prairie all around us.
Was there anything odd about your sister asking about the light?
Yes, because she was blind.
That's a piece called Trinity, and it will be featured on my instrumental album, my second instrumental album called The Occupation of Hope. When Robert Oppenheimer was asked, why did you call the bomb Trinity? And he said it was inspired by the poet John Donne. I couldn't resist putting in the children laughing because it felt to me as though that's what we were doing, experimenting and playing around with things we didn't understand, and we still don't understand, I fancy.
Here are true facts about the owl. Many owls have asymmetrical ear holes. One is higher than the other. By sensing tiny differences in the delay and volume of sound as it arrives in each ear, the owl is able to create a three-dimensional auditory map of its surroundings. Try riding a bicycle at night and picking up a moving burrito with your feet based on the sound that it makes. That is how an owl do.
Some time back, I made an album of love songs, and it was called The Slender Sadness, The Love Songs. And there's a song on there called Love Light, and I'd like to play that to you now, based on the memories of my dad's love for my mum. This is Love Light.
Gently slip away. light will reach out over the waves. Come and wash my spirit of pain, and I will feel your love light. On Welton Street, the lamps are lit as an angel passes by. A beautiful girl with golden hair is coming home tonight. I wanna feel the sunshine. I wanna walk into your love light, always shining. Your love light will cover me. Dark night, stars are falling. Your love light will reach out over the waves. Come and wash my spirit of pain, and I will feel your love light. And all I wanted was to hold your soul so tender. And all I wanted was your smile. And I will lay a white rose down upon the water. And in your name the sun will rise. Your love light, ever shining. Your love light will cover me. Dark night, stars are falling. Your love light will reach out over the waves. Come and wash my spirit of pain, and I will feel your love light, never dying. Your love light will follow me through the darkest night. River rolling, your love light will reach out over the waves. Come and wash my spirit of pain, and I will feel your love light. I wanna walk in your love light. I'll always be in your love light.
I was a very lucky son to have a father that told me about how much he loved my mother. That song is called Love Light. It comes from my album called The Slender Sadness, in brackets, The Love Songs, where I put a lot of very emotional tracks together. At the bell, and at my age, the bell has to ring to remind me to do things. I have to be reminded at this old age here, and this is time for Quote of the Day, and this quote comes from the great Albert Einstein. A new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. That reminds me of what the Dalai Lama said, which I think was pretty wonderful. With all the negativity and all the wars going on in the world, he was saying this is so old-fashioned to be at war. It is such an old-fashioned thing. So let's be modern. As the Buddhist and the Dalai Lama says, peace is actually quite hip. Ah, the sound of the boiling kettle, and that I just made me laugh, really. I said quite hip, and actually quite hip is such an old thing to say, isn't it? Well, you know what I mean. The sound of the kettle boiling, the sound of the end of the show, sadly. Let me just say here, it's a joy to have you along with me, and if you liked any of the tracks you heard here, you'll find a lot of them at CD Baby, where you can buy the real thing, CDs, you can download, and you can download my tracks at iTunes and all those other places, Spotify, Pandora, and all those internet places that seem to have billions of tracks. You know, a radio show of mine doesn't feel quite right unless we hear this. That's the sound of the owls, the wise owls in the trees, asking us to be kind and compassionate to all their fellow creatures, to the animal nation. You know my passion for looking after animals. We have domain and control over these wonderful creatures. Let's show some kindness from the heart. And as Paul McCartney famously said, if slaughterhouses had glass walls, we'd all be vegetarians. Now, please, my fellow Owlheads, take that to heart. Well, my goodness, it's episode 11 coming to an end. That means it's probably coming to an end of season 1. Will there be a season 2? I don't know. That's up to you. All I can say is I feel very honoured that you join me every now and then in the Owl's Nest.